All right, Travis Rockefeller here on another job. Working on eastern yellowjacket that's gone into the ground. In my opinion, these are the worst to deal with. Super aggressive, very mean. Out of the 5 I collect, maculifron yellowjackets are the meanest. And a lot of times they nest in people's yards, which you can imagine would be a little bit inconvenient when you mow your yard because you get lit up. Doing a job for a buddy here, he happened to get lit up on the lawnmower and it's payback time. We're gonna get these guys out of here with my blower vac and a little makeshift trap connected with a hose here with, of course, the shut-off valve, and we'll get them out of the ground here. We've got 2. All right, so here's one of my little cookie jars with a little valve on here in the front. Kind of designed it myself. It's pretty redneck, but hey, it works. As you can see, I've caught a few Germanica yellowjackets, which are different than the ones behind me. The ones behind me, again, are the maculifrons. Both yellowjackets, because they conceal their nest, it's totally hidden. It's not exposed to the eye. So what I do, my service, of course, is free. I'll go out to many homes during the weekend, mostly because I teach, and I set up vacuums and canister traps, and I get these out of the ground and out of houses for homeowners, and they're very grateful because of course the service is free. What I do with the insects, I work for 2 different labs on the west coast of the United States, and there, after I have a season of collecting, which this is another big year, I send out all the insects to these 2 labs on dry ice, and that's after I sort them and take the drones out, which are the male bees that we don't want, that don't have the stinger or the venom. And once they arrive at the lab, there's little technicians there that extract the venom sac. It's a very tedious job. That's all they do. They take the venom sac out of all these insects, and then they create a serum that helps allergy patients who deal with severe allergic reaction to yellowjacket and hornet stings. So basically, it's immunotherapy for allergy patients, and it's very beneficial for these patients. And of course, we're able to help out homeowners that have these pesky yellowjackets flying all over the place. It's very important that these insects inside this jar do not die, because if they die in my trap, the venom may spoil and they can't use it. The labs can't use that, and that's not good. So what I have to do is carry dry ice on me pretty much all the time, and I have to knock these out with CO2, and I have to transfer all the contents of this jar into a freezer box, and then I take the freezer box, immediately put dry ice on that freezer box to keep these bugs frozen and cold, just so that venom doesn't spoil. That's why, you can't see this, but inside my trap, I have a little sponge here, okay? So when they come in, they hit that sponge, and it actually cushions their blow so they don't, get killed. So I take care of my girls here. I take care of my yellowjackets when they come through here. That's why I have this little makeshift sponge inside my trap. And I also am always on the search for vacuums at garage sales, Goodwill, that don't have much suction, but enough to get them in. I can't have them coming in here too hot and heavy, if you know what I mean. All right, so I take my freezer box here. I always have a field cooler on me at all times, and I have my dry ice, very handy. I put it right on top of that. Got a couple pieces here. Normally I like them a little bit bigger than this. And this will keep that nice and cool. And so I'm going to take this and put it in my field cooler here. Keep that dry ice on there nice, and put my plug on top, and we're good till we get home. And at that point I'll put them in my freezer. And then as I accumulate the pounds, I send them out to these laboratories. And I'm always shipping. Every week I'm shipping, because the Rockefellers collect a lot of bugs. Here they come. Oh my word. Whew. All right, as you probably can guess, this is the comb from the nest that I just dug up out of the ground. And yes, I was all out assaulted doing it. Got a couple stings here, and there, and one on my face. But ultimately, that's the price we have to pay to get these things dug up out of the ground. So here is the comb. You can see the comb here. And you see the little larva there in different stages. That's being fed by the workforce there. And the ones that are capped over are insects ready to be hatched into little yellow jackets. And you can tell the different size of the cap cells just means that the bigger ones here are going to be queens. A nest this size will produce, this whole comb is filled with queens. Some people don't realize it starts with one queen, and ultimately at the end of the season you have several, sometimes even a couple hundred queens that hatch out of a nest. And those are these raised cells, cap cells right here. And the ones that are a little bit smaller are, of course, just workers and possibly drones. So that's your comb, and that's what was in the ground. And this is what they try and protect when you run over them with a lawnmower. They come out in a frenzy, and like I said, they assault you. And rightly so, they're just trying to protect their home. And that's a little spiel about the yellow jackets and a look at the comb. So I just previously showed you the comb from this nest. This would be the workforce that we got out of the ground. These are all pretty much workers, and of course they're the ones that have the stinger and the venom that these laboratories that we supply, that they want, and for the allergy patients. But along with the workers, there's also drones, which are the male bees that have to be sorted out because they don't have a stinger or the venom. And also, not many people know this, but this nest started off with one queen. One queen early in the summer found a spot in the ground, excavated that dirt out, and came up with a nice little home, if you will. And hatched out a few workers and a little bit more and more, and the workforce gradually got very big and strong. And towards the end of the season here in September, they start manufacturing several queens, some nests up to 100. And of course, if the nest goes untouched and they all vacate that nest, everything will die, the workers and the drones. But the queens, after they're fertilized by the drones, will take off, find a spot somewhere to winter over in a rock pile or somewhere in a crevice, and if they survive the winter, they will start brand new nests, each one of them, the following summer. And that's how the cycle continues. Okay, again, if you have a yellow jacket problem, whether it be in the ground or going into your house or another building structure of some kind, or you have hornets, bald-faced hornets or yellow hornets, I'm your guy. Give me a call. I live in mid-Michigan here, right here in Perry, and I offer my service completely free of charge. So we try and, keep things mid-Michigan. We service Shiawassee County, Ingham County, Livingston County, part of Clinton County, and, the neighboring counties to Shiawassee. We'll have to kind of play it by ear if we can get to your house, but yep, totally free. Go ahead and give us a call if you have any questions. And again, Travis Rockefeller, the Bee Whisperer, signing off.